Who is this guy and where did he come from? Well, he's a twice-divorced college dropout and failed disc jockey who is waging what he calls cultural warfare, skewering liberal sacred cows, environmentalists, feminists, militant gays, and animal rights activists, often with their own material, culled from the 8 newspapers he reads every day.
Have we got fun in store for you today?
The latest news from the animal rights front is introduced with Andy Williams singing Born Free, mixed with gunfire, explosions, and animal cries.
Born free, free
The feminist update begins with Born to be a Woman. Limbaugh doesn't like feminists much, calls their leaders feminazis.
You were born a woman. You're born to be heard.
Hurt, not heard.
You're born.
By now, you're either laughing or fuming. And to Rush Limbaugh, it doesn't make that much difference.
People have called you a sexist.
Right.
People have called you a homophobe.
Right.
Are you?
Oh, of course not. I'm none of those things. I am simply someone who views events in life and comments on them. I have my own version of what's right and wrong.
You've also been called arrogant and pompous.
Well, I call it confidence.
And for now, he can afford to be cocky. Oracle or opportunist, he is part of the American commerce, bringing listeners back to AM radio. In New Orleans, when WWL started carrying his show, the station jumped from number 7 in the ratings to number 1. Johnny Andrews is the station manager.
In the past 25, 30 years in radio, I can only think of a handful of national radio personalities who have made an impact on local radio stations. Paul Harvey, of course, Charles Osgood. And now in the 90s, here's this guy, Rush Limbaugh.
I'm sad that Billy Carter's no longer. He's a great character, and he was a nice guy. And if he were still around, we'd be the dream Democrat ticket. The dream ticket. Ted Kennedy and Billy Carter.
Right.
And the slogan would be, "You drink, I'll drive."
Where are you calling from, Steve?
He takes a few phone calls, usually from like-minded listeners.
Mary in Plattsburgh, New York. Hi, and welcome to the Rush Limbaugh program.
Hi, Rush. How are you
People
doing?
calling his New York studio on cellular phones get priority treatment because, he says, they must be rich. It's his talk show, and he's the talker. No guests. He says he doesn't need them.
I don't defer to the experts. I am the expert. Of course, when I stop being one, that's right.
5 years ago, he was hanging on in Sacramento. Today, he's traveling by limousine, commanding $15,000 for a personal appearance.
Let's give a warm New Orleans welcome to America's leading radio talk show personality, Rush Limbaugh.
In New Orleans last spring, 6,000 fans paid $20 apiece to listen to stories like this one about a men's club in San Francisco that was forced to admit women who then demanded their own exercise room.
And said, fine, we'll be glad to give you your own exercise room. In fact, we'll even put the first 3 pieces of exercise equipment in there for you. They put in there a washing machine, an ironing board, vacuum cleaner. True story.
The story got a lot of applause, but not everyone's cheering. Attorney Gloria Allred, one of the country's most prominent feminists, says Limbaugh would get big applause at a Nazi rally.
I'll bet you they didn't see the humor in it at all. These people don't have any sense of humor.
He is hurting us, and I can't emphasize that enough. He is trying to make us a joke so that we won't be taken seriously, and part of the problem with moving the women's movement forward is the trivialization of the women's movement.
Feminism was established so as to allow unattractive women easier access to the mainstream society.
That's the type of woman-hating statement that is perpetuated over and over again.
Look, if they get mad at that, that's fine. I'm not doing what I do to make sure nobody gets mad. I can understand how that would ruffle feathers, but it isn't going to stop me.
What are you trying to do with this show?
I'm trying to attract the largest audience I can and hold it for as long as I can so that I can charge advertisers confiscatory advertising rates. This is a business.
You're in it for the money?
Sure. Of course, I'm doing a lot of this for money, but I don't want it to just stop there. I mean, everybody does what they do for the money. If somebody tells you it's not the money, believe me, it's the money.
And speaking of money, Limbaugh will earn about $1 million this year. His Rush to Excellence videotape is expected to sell nearly 50,000 copies, and there are mugs and T-shirts.
Look, is that extra? Rush is God.
He is so popular with his fans that 1,000 of them filled a cruise ship to tour the Caribbean with him. Hundreds waited for more than an hour just to have their picture taken with him.
I never met anyone I liked that much before, so it's a good opportunity for me. That's why I'm here.
Mr. and Mrs. Virtue, Rush Limbaugh.
Hi, Virtue. What a name. That could be mine, too.
But a lot of people fail to see that virtue. They say he picks on the vulnerable. His most vocal critics are gays. Limbaugh insists he only criticizes gay politics, not the gay lifestyle.
Yeah.
Really? You decide.
We're just gonna take
He
a stroll.
introduces updates about gay Congressman Barney Frank with the song My Boy Lollipop.
My boy lollipop, you make my heart go giddy up. You are as sweet as candy.
My boy lollipop. Barney called a press conference. Barney admitting that he had had an affair with Stephen Goby, and he said, quote, I was just trying to help this guy through some problems, but I got suckered. That's what drove me to My Boy Lollipop. My Boy Lollipop. Perfect. It was absolutely perfect. I don't think that that is making fun of the homosexual lifestyle. I really don't. I think it's an ingenious, clever way of doing
Making
the
fun of the
Barney
homosexual
Frank
lifestyle.
No, it was a Barney Frank update. It was nothing about the gay community.
Barney Frank's news conference is not the first thing that comes to mind when they hear My Boy Lollipop with the Barney Frank
Whose
update.
mind? The audience?
Right.
What is the first thing that comes to their mind?
That you're making fun of their lifestyle.
Well, I'm not making fun of the lifestyle. I'm not the one engaging in the lifestyle, and I'm not the one who said what Barney said, and I'm not the one doing what Barney said.
Will Williams heads a Rush Limbaugh task force for the Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation.
I don't know how more clear it can be.
He says Limbaugh is just the latest in a long line of radio and TV hate mongers.
The overwhelming majority of the American people are not bigots. And when they find out about Rush Limbaugh types, as they did about Martin Downey Jr., and when they found out about Andrew Dice Clay, they step in and such people's careers take a dive.
And you think that's what will happen to Rush Limbaugh?
I think so.
In his dreams.
It's not going to happen.
In his dreams.
I love to listen to him. I've gotten to the point where I do my shopping and my moving around in the car in the afternoon so that I can hear him when I sit in line waiting in the bank. Usually I think it's going to lower my blood pressure and I'm going to live longer as a result of listening to it.
I think I just happen to be saying what a whole lot of people think but don't have a chance to say themselves. That's why they call me the most dangerous man in America. Somebody's finally saying this stuff.
You believe that?
The most dangerous man? No, I'm a harmless fuzzball.
I think this is a dangerous fuzzball. And perhaps because he likes to sell himself as harmless, he is all the more dangerous.
Why dangerous?
Because he perpetuates many lies. And if a lie is told often enough, people begin to believe it. And lies can kill. Lies can lead to hate crimes against innocent persons.
That's BS. It's unsubstantiated, it's unprovable, because it doesn't happen. Never once have I encouraged action of violence against anybody. I do not accept the notion that disagreeing with the politics of any group encourages others to be violent against them.
I don't think that he can disclaim responsibility by saying there has to be some showing of a direct causal link.
Alred and a lot of other people would like to see Rush Limbaugh off the air. Some have even threatened to organize boycotts against his advertisers. Limbaugh calls this new sensitivity today's fascism. He claims he's just a guy on the radio.
If I were of the attitude that my primary goal was to go in that studio every day and make sure that America heard everything I said and acted on it, because times are crucial. We don't have much time to save everything. You know, the ratings of the show would just plummet because the fun would go, it'd be too serious, it'd be what liberals do. They're always wringing their hands, not having any time for fun, and being critical of virtually everything. It matches. It matches. All right, a deal.
Yeah, a deal.
$15 US?
Yes.
So Rush Limbaugh is behaving like a true conservative, placing his faith in free speech, if not good taste, and in free enterprise. The marketplace will eventually decide.
Ah, there it is, the sobbing, symbolizing the sadness all over America as the final segment of the program today has arrived. We gotta go. We're out of here. See you. Be good. And yet another exciting chapter of broadcast excellence in the can.
In the right hands, even the most functional things can be art. So we asked a sculptor to design a new luxury sedan, the Mazda 929. And while it offers a generous list of safety features and amenities to comfort both mind and body, its richest rewards are for the soul. The new 929, the first luxury sedan from the new Mazda.
It just feels right.